Hi everyone, Sandman here. This video is brought to you by a donation from MGTOW Finance, and here's what he has to say. Evening Sandman, I was hoping that you could discuss a topic that may benefit from your extensive knowledge about MGTOW philosophy. As with many men, I've digested the red pill and learned through experience and close observation of the opposite sex what the opposite sex has to offer the modern professional male in Britain. I've been told many times by both men and women that I'm a very good catch for a man. I also have a great career in finance, I run a company, and in economic terms, I actually know that I'm actually an appreciating asset and will continue to be so long as I focus and work with other business like-minded professionals within my network. So I have some questions for you. Number one, what does a man do or can do for a woman? The type of professional man I describe literally has the ability to take a woman out of poverty and escalate her living status to a middle-class lifestyle. To me, this illustrates how kind, loving, and caring a man is with regards to being willing to share his success and earnings with a woman he loves. However, society and most women will still question how committed the man is, yet he actually has done an act which is pretty much actually heroic. Think about it. Giving a woman a lifestyle that she could only have dreamed about is an act of pure love. I have come to the conclusion that the men I describe in this topic are the real catch. Professional men have a lot to offer a modern woman. Financially successful men have the ability to improve a woman's social and economic status, hence being the real prize. But we never really hear this in the media or from our loved ones. So my other question to you is this. So with all that a man can offer, what exactly are modern women offering besides emotional baggage and stress? I look forward to hearing your view on this particular topic. In kind regards. Well, MGTOW Finance, thanks for your donation as well as your topic request. So you're a well-to-do man financially that apparently knows how to value what we men have to offer women financially. I also agree with you that it is heroic for a man to basically choose to risk all of his resources to elevate the lifestyle of a woman and make her life better. He may be heroic giving a woman a lifestyle she hasn't earned, but he's also rather stupid. Far too often he's spoiling her and she doesn't appreciate what she's being given. That's probably why we used to have very rigid class structures in the past. If you were born in a certain class, particularly in Britain up until the 1970s, then you dressed and lived a certain type of lifestyle your entire life. Social mobility was not something that was easy to achieve 40 or 50 years ago. So women couldn't just run off and marry a rich guy by trading their vaginal orifice for an orgy of dollar bills. You make mention how men share what we've earned and how courageous we are, but you make no mention of women doing the same thing. If hardworking men are willing to sacrifice things, then wouldn't it make sense for hardworking women to be willing to do the same? But as we all know, it doesn't work that way because of hypergamy, which means women will usually choose to partner up with a man on a higher level. This is the real problem with equality, that if you make women equal to men, then they won't want to pair off with men or respect us. In the past, a man's sacrifice was rewarded with the promise from the state that if a woman ran off and got drilled by another man, she would forfeit her cash and prizes for a new penis. The men were protected, and if men started cheating and broke their wedding vows, the women got to keep the home, the children, and got some of his income to basically help support them. That was actually true equality, and we had that up until the 1960s. There was nothing heroic back then about being a man with regards to being a provider and protector. Your mind was at ease knowing that your wife was less likely to go out and get a ball-sucking disease, and if she did, you basically kept what you worked for. I honestly don't think that men understand how heroic they are in today's society getting married without the protection from the state, but instead the state working against them. There's nothing more heroic about being kept in the dark about the power that women have in our society and being led to the slaughterhouse without even realizing it. I believe that once men swallow the red pill, we realize consciously how crazy the system is, and thus we choose to no longer be heroic. That's when women in mangina shame us to take a risk, but it's too late because we understand that it's just not worth it anymore. The more we use technology to empower ourselves as men, the less men will take the stupid risk. But that's okay because women are actually working and they don't need us anymore for financial stability. They don't need a man to worry about retirement for the both of them because they can pretty much spend their salaries on purses and shoes. They don't need a man because they're independent women with their own vibrators living in dildo nation. Men have been replaced by batteries and plastic. So it's pretty obvious why women bother with men these days. They need an emotional punching bag, they might also want to have a child, and they like having their own servant to help them out throughout life. It's never been a better time to be a woman. They have power over their financial destiny, control over their reproductive rights, and are more empowered than ever, yet are more miserable than ever, ironically. Throughout my lifetime, I've learned that the emotion of fear and a loss of control brings joy to women. Sexually, they all fantasize about being taken advantage of, and they seek out a man that's more powerful financially and physically, yet at the same time they want to be equal to such a man. They want it all and they got it all, and now they're unhappier than ever. The more education they get, the more miserable they become. Women with university degrees tend to be more miserable, demanding, and deranged than the ones with little to no education. Simple-minded women are far easier and more pleasant to be around from my observations. The ones with university degrees act like prankster gods, making the life of a man as torturous as possible. But the bigger question is, why should men bother with women? Sex, love, and procreation are what men tend to get from most modern relationships. Sex that stops after 5 to 10 years, love that can't be reciprocated, and children that can be taken away at any time. Everything that a man gets from a woman can be removed by force anytime. So the moment a man takes the red pill and learns these things, he's no longer going to be courageous and or stupid getting into a relationship, but now he's the one that's empowered and aware, just like the woman with the university education. He is equal to women once again because he understands his true power and value. The last 40 years for women must have been the best of times and the worst of times. They could do everything and anything that they wanted, but even when they did get men to provide and protect, they were absolutely miserable. Women, it seems, have gotten away from their true purpose because society has told them that they need to go out and make a living in the world. Men, on the other hand, have actually stuck to their purpose up until now. But now they're starting to question why bother with women. Men are awakening on their own, and thanks to the manosphere, we're also unconsciously learning about women for the first time. Even when I was in long-term relationships, I was often hesitant to get married and tie myself down financially with my partners because I knew that I had something to lose. I had more money, a business or two, and I was afraid of losing what I had already earned. Maybe I would have felt different if I was building a financial future with my partner and we were both starting off from zero together, and we were both putting equal effort into the relationship and careers or businesses. But I was hesitant because I saw that I was putting more effort in, yet was actually slowly losing control over how the purchasing as well as lifestyle decisions in the relationship were being made. I was stewing in my own juices and began resenting my partners because why should I put more work in and they get to dictate how we're going to live our lives? What we would do in our free time and who we would spend our time with was all pretty much controlled. Where we would live and what our goals in life were as well. Why would I actually take on way more responsibility but only have a tiny bit of authority? Relationships often start with the woman wanting you to take charge and be a man and prove that you can lead her. And then once she's basically done seeing you do that, eventually she takes power back from you. Most guys don't mind because they're in love and they're stupid. But even at the age of 25, I knew something was wrong and I couldn't put it into words. Why would my partner, after benefiting greatly from all the choices I had made up until the last 3 or 4 years in that relationship, suddenly change into a different person and demand certain things from me without taking my feelings into consideration? I realized that there's no point in bothering with a woman that only cares about herself. I can't explain to you how it feels to be with someone for 5 years and then someone else for 10 years, and you love them, but eventually you learn they don't love you the same way or not at all. And when you suspect that and when it finally sinks in, it destroys a man. At least if someone told me that when I was a teenager, I would have understood what the hell was going on, and that it's all about her and I don't actually matter. The media and our loved ones will never admit that we're the prize because they see themselves as the prize and life is all about them. That's the dirty little secret that no one wants to talk about. Why bother with women? I'll tell you why. Recently I had what was most likely a kidney stone attack and I needed to pass it. So what did I do? I went to the emergency room and was literally howling in pain until they gave me a morphine injection, which is basically a narcotic to take the edge off. And I felt kind of weird and euphoric. Men bother with women because they ease the pain of life. After having sex, the brain releases endorphins to make you feel euphoric. It reduces your pain just like a drug, so that's why men bother with women, because they get a chemical stimulation from love, sex, and children. All of that makes a man happier temporarily, but in the long run, all of those things can destroy him. Sperm is also an antidepressant for women. The reason women are probably more depressed than ever has something to do with condoms, men pulling out, and vasectomies. Because whenever a woman doesn't get the sperm inside of her, she gets depressed. Studies have also found that women that break up with a man but didn't actually use condoms and were filled with good creamy sperm goodness would experience the rebound effect in the relationship and would be more likely to take the man back or go back to him because of the withdrawal effects of not getting their daily dose of John Hancock. I put a link down below to an article that talks about what makes sex the most powerful drug in the world. It talks about 12 different things that improve with regards to your physical and mental health when you're actually having sex. Everything from heart health to skin quality. There's even talk that frequent orgasms, roughly 100 a year or more, increase a person's lifespan by about 3 to 8 years. And it's not just sex that does this. Choking the chicken makes you harder and actually helps work the pelvic floor muscles and prevent erectile dysfunction. It helps you last longer during sex as well as helping to prevent prostate cancer by keeping the fluids flowing. I know that none of this is completely relevant when it comes to why men should bother with women. But nature wants us to bother with women, it's just that when we do, women often get the government to bother us back after the fact. We do what comes naturally and we get punished for it. So now we're learning to be unnatural, and eventually, when enough of us have actually stopped producing and reproducing, the Western world and women are actually going to have a serious problem on their hands. Because the best way to stop our corrupt governments is to make sure they have nothing left to loot, because at this point many women have left men with nothing left to lose. As we pull back, women will become increasingly emotionally unhappy, while men will increasingly become mentally competent. With the drug of women to cloud your judgment, you become less potent. Finally, here's a picture I want to share with everyone of Canada's next Prime Minister in 2 years, Kevin O'Leary. And look what he has to say about women, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the quote. Again, his wife is probably not like all the other women out there, but I guess she's less bad than the others. Anyways, that's all I've got to say for today. Thanks again, MGTOW Finance, for your donation as well as your topic. Don't forget to smash the like button and check out the MGTOW mystery link. As for everyone else out there, please follow me on Twitter or like me on Facebook to get tomorrow's video today. Thanks for taking your daily dose of red pills. And remember, a red pill a day keeps the accidental abortions away. So enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.